Tonight, still feeling the impact of those recently surging fuel prices.
Too expensive.
Everything it's just inflationary, and it just continues on and on and on.
How a fluctuating fuel surcharge at CN is creating more budget pressure for local farmers. A blow for those in rural areas looking for better, faster options to connect with the core.
There's not enough options for people in rural communities, especially with gas prices going up.
A motion to explore private bus service in Ottawa's rural neighborhoods fails at council. And to quote a clever CTV Ottawa viewer, the train was late, but the turkey was right on time.
We are not able to coexist successfully because of how aggressive these turkeys are.
OC Transpo says wild turkeys on the tracks this morning did not cause actual delays, but are there more of them taking a trot around Ottawa right now? Good evening. We begin tonight with the latest on the conflict in the Middle East. Oil prices are dropping after a ceasefire agreement was reached, but there is still so much uncertainty and volatility. Companies such as CN Rail are increasing fuel surcharges, and those costs could eventually be forced onto consumers. CTV's Leah Larocque joins us in studio with more. Leah.
Patricia, for farms across our region, high fuel costs are impacting everything from planting to transporting grain or goods. CN Rail also has fuel charges, but they fluctuate with the market, and those costs just don't stay on the farm. They ripple throughout the entire supply chain.
Rutter's Elevators keeps the agricultural system moving, buying grain, drying it, storing it, shipping it out.
We're into another struggle. The unknown, the unforeseen stuff in every market.
They say that truckers are tacking on diesel surcharges after fuel prices soared because of the war in Iran.
It's an indicator of what is going on in the economy today.
On top of that, Canadian National Railway has fuel surcharges adjusted monthly that rise with oil prices, creating smaller margins and uncertainty for the business.
The biggest hurdle is not knowing our actual fuel surcharges. While everything from tractors to tractor parts to inputs, chemicals, seed, everything it's just inflationary, and it just continues on and on and on.
It's not just a fossil fuel energy price shock that we're witnessing, it's a fertilizer shock. 1/3 of the world's fertilizer goes through the Strait of Hormuz.
Many farmers have already locked in contracts on things like fertilizers for this year. So the rising cost of fuel is a concern for next year because they worry that the costs will only go up.
And now I'm looking like a really smart guy because that's fertilizer's almost doubled in price.
Peter Reuter runs a dairy farm in Ottawa. He says knowing when or when not to buy agricultural products isn't black and white.
I've understood from the dealers, they don't even know how to price it to them. They don't want to overcommit to buying any expensive fertilizer if they don't need it.
He took a risk and bought other products like this sawdust in bulk after his supplier told him that higher surcharges were coming.
He told me that a fuel surcharge was coming in next month. So I was like, okay, I'll take it this month. So we took it in March.
Experts warn that even with a ceasefire in place, the uncertainty in the energy market will eventually make its way down the supply chain.
But however you cut it, what does this mean? This means that customers will be paying higher prices. The end of that supply chain is consumers.
I spoke to some farmers who say our region has the advantage of being close to water, like the St. Lawrence Seaway, so they can ship by boat to cut down on trucking costs. But bottom line, it's all more expensive and everyone is paying more for it now. Patricia.
All right, CTV's Leah Larocque live for us tonight. Thank you. Well, turning now to that ceasefire agreement, which appears shaky. The Strait of Hormuz is reportedly still closed tonight, with Iran citing Israel's ongoing attacks on Lebanon. More than 100 people are dead after airstrikes in Beirut today. And those latest attacks sparking a small protest here in Ottawa. This is a live look right now outside the U.S. Embassy on Sussex Drive, where a rally is just getting underway this hour. Protesters are condemning the airstrikes on Lebanon, saying they violate the ceasefire. But the U.S. and Israel say Lebanon is not part of that agreement. CTV's Joy Melvin has the latest from Washington.
On the streets of Tehran, they chant death to America as the U.S. Secretary of War declared victory over Iran.
President Trump forged this moment. Iran begged for this ceasefire, and we all know it.
This 2-week truce looking shaky at best. Iran is still holding up hundreds of oil tankers in the Strait of Hormuz, effectively controlling global oil production in the Gulf.
The Iranian response is we're going to control it and put a toll on everybody. And there's no ceasefire. Literally within the past hour, Saudi Arabia has reported that its pipeline, which goes from the Gulf to the Red Sea, has been hit by a drone.
Blocking the strait, says Iran, is retaliation for Israel's continued attacks on Lebanon. Israel insists the ceasefire doesn't include their war against Iranian-backed Hezbollah. The fresh violence threatening to scuttle Washington's fragile truce.
And I will reiterate the president's expectation and demand that the Strait of Hormuz is reopened immediately, quickly, and safely.
President Donald Trump, who threatened to annihilate Iran just yesterday and back down, called this a big day for world peace, posting, "The U.S. will work closely with Iran, which we have determined has gone through regime change. There will be no enrichment of uranium."
So right now it's buried and we're watching it. We know exactly what they have. They'll give it to us voluntarily. We'll get it. We'll take it. We'll take it out.
Leaving many politicians wondering what this war was all about.
We have lost 13 American service members, hundreds of American service members wounded, thousands of people, innocent civilians throughout the region killed, prices going up, the American taxpayers paying $2 billion a day, and all for nothing.
The White House says Vice President J.D. Vance will lead in-person peace talks with Iran. The regime prefers him because of his past skepticism about Middle East wars. Joy Melvin, CTV News, Washington.
Well, despite the uncertainty about the ceasefire and whether it holds or not, just word of it set to provide relief at the gas pumps this week. Prices are expected to plummet, with experts predicting at least a 12% drop on Friday, 12-cent drop on Friday, I should say. Here's CTV's Katie Griffin with more on that, Katie.
Well, Patricia, prices have jumped more than 50 cents a litre since late February, and although that ceasefire is now in effect, it's still unclear what could come next, meaning the roller coaster at the pumps could continue. Most stations in Ottawa today selling regular for around $1.83 a litre. Experts say fuel prices go down slower than they go up, so with the situation in the Middle East still so unsettled, getting longer-term relief is more complicated. The cost to fill up is driving some people to change their habits, while others are filling up at whatever price because they have to.
This is affecting everyone, but we'll see if it goes up or down. Everything's changing minute by minute.
Too expensive. No, like that, we're not gonna go no more to Montreal. We're not gonna go nowhere. Stay home.
I'm driving to Boston tomorrow, and I have a cottage I'm gonna drive to. I may think about it more than once.
Now, something else to keep in mind, refineries are set to change over from winter to summer gas next week with an expected increase of about 7 cents a litre. Now, another local example of the impact these high gas prices are having, the Ottawa Food Bank says it typically costs around $300 to fill one of its delivery trucks. In the past week alone, that's jumped to $480, and that doesn't even fill the tank. Patricia.
Big numbers. All right, CTV's Katie Griffin live for us tonight. Thank you. And you can stay with CTV News for continuing coverage of the fluctuating gas prices and the conflict in the Middle East. For updates on radio, tune into News Talk 580 CFRA and CTV News Channel.
Still ahead after the last lap. What's next for those who have made their living in racing as a decades-old tradition here comes to an end?
Well, taking a live look through our Centennial Glass Skycam, 6 degrees out there in Ottawa right now. Beautiful evening. Bringing us to the question, is it safe to get on the bike, take the snow tires off? Are we in the clear, Jackie?
I don't know if we're in the clear, Patricia, but we are definitely getting more spring-like temperatures, and it is trending to stay consistent, at least for the next several days. Now, I'll let you be the judge of this after we take a look at what's in store for the next 2 to 3 days. Now, tomorrow, it's going to be lots of sunshine in the morning. We are following this weather system that is moving through fairly quickly. Kingston may see more rainfall than parts of Ottawa, as well as Pembroke, but we are anticipating a chance of showers moving in the early, or late afternoon, early evening.
evening. Now, what can we expect temperature-wise? Well, by noon, take a look at this. 10 degrees is the anticipated temperature. The daytime high will actually get to about 13, 14 degrees. But what we're going to compete with is that wind gusts. We're going to get gusts between 20 to 40 kilometers per hour. By the time the evening rolls around, we're going to see more clouds and perhaps a chance of showers moving through. But right now, if you want to head outside, it is fairly nice with lots of sunshine for really all of eastern Ontario. Temperatures hovering between 6, 7 degrees, and this is really maintaining even as we look towards Montreal and Mont-Tremblant, where temperatures are about 5, 6 degrees. We'll get a closer look at your forecast, though, because by the time we get to Friday, we will likely see perhaps some wintry mix moving through, and it could include some light flurries.
The Liberals are one step closer to a majority government with another Conservative crossing the floor. Longtime Ontario MP Marilyn Gladu becomes the 4th Conservative and 5th MP to join Mark Carney's government. The shocking move comes ahead of Monday's 3 key by-elections. CTV's Ottawa Bureau Chief Graham Richardson reports.
Because of Marilyn Gladu, a Conservative MP.
Here's Marilyn Gladu as a Conservative back in 2023.
Our leader has been supportive of this bill all the way along. I want to thank him for that.
It is a great pleasure.
Cut to today.
I'm very happy to be the newest member of our new Liberal government.
A partisan defection that enrages Conservatives as the Prime Minister casts it as a country coming together to his side.
This all comes at a time when the country as a whole is uniting. Uniting to move forward, and it's important that over there we unite to move forward as well.
Pierre Poilievre tweeted, Gladu said that floor crossers should face voters in a by-election. I could not agree more. As recently as January, she told her local paper, we elected you under this banner, and if you don't want to be under that banner, then we deserve a chance to have a redo of the election. Sarnia is a border town that's known for oil refineries and some manufacturing connected to the auto sector. Some constituents here are not happy.
We thought absolutely no way would she cross. So now I'm wondering, why did she cross? What did Carney give her? And explain it to your constituents.
Most Conservatives felt that way today, that Gladu would be the last to make a move like this.
Look at her social media feed. Up until just hours ago, she was trashing and attacking the Liberal government of which she's now proudly a part. This is very cynical and it's very odd.
But the red clothing at the photo op and broad smiles right inside the Prime Minister's office, another body blow to Tories. So is this over? Don't bet on it. The party is about to start for Liberals. Their convention in Montreal begins tomorrow. So far, there have been no floor crossers from the province of Quebec, despite rumors swirling around this place for months. Graham Richardson, CTV News, Ottawa.
The Ottawa Police Arson Unit is investigating an overnight fire in Centretown. Firefighters were called to a commercial building on Laurier Avenue West near Metcalfe around 2:40 in the morning. When they arrived on scene, there was black smoke and heavy flames coming from the building, which houses a restaurant, lounge, and bar. The blaze was under control in about 40 minutes. A fire investigator was sent to the scene to determine the cause and where the fire started. The arson unit has now taken over. A bus driver is facing charges after coach bus crash in eastern Ontario earlier this year. The bus was carrying 47 passengers when it went into the ditch and rolled over in the eastbound lanes on Highway 401 near Odessa in late February. 8 people were seriously injured. 42-year-old Mandeep from Brampton has been charged with careless driving. A drop-in center on Rideau Street reopened today, more than 1 month after a vehicle crashed into the building. 4 people were struck while they were waiting in line at Capital City Mission on the morning of February 25th. An elderly man died from his injuries. The drop-in is thanking the community for their support since the crash. Well, the woman known as the Ketamine Queen has been sentenced to 15 years in prison for selling actor Matthew Perry the drugs that killed him. 42-year-old Jasveen Sangha became the 3rd defendant sentenced of the 5 people who have pleaded guilty in connection with the fatal overdose of the 54-year-old Friends star. Sangha is the only one whose plea deal included an acknowledgement of causing Perry's death. He was found dead in the hot tub at his Los Angeles home 3 years ago. Well, many residents in rural Ottawa are calling for more transit options. Councillors spent much of the day debating whether private bus service could be a good option for communities far from the city centre, but that motion has failed. CTV's Austin Lee is following this for us today, here to break it all down for us. Austin?
Yeah, Patricia, Rural Councillor David Brown brought forward the motion today, which did receive pushback from some of his council colleagues. Still, he remains hopeful his plan will keep rolling along. Like many rural communities in Ottawa, more people are moving to Richmond.
With the growth of the housing, yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's grown.
Oh, very much in the last 8 years. But then we don't have the services for that growth.
For Chris Easy, Richmond is home, but he's studying at Carleton University, and it's quite the commute.
For me, the options to get into school were pretty limited. I ended up having to drive out to a park and ride that's 20 minutes away so I can take the O train so I can get to school and not worry about paying $45 for parking.
If there was a bus making regular trips into the city, he'd be all for it.
More options, I think, would be a fantastic thing to have out here, especially as we grow, and we're continuing to grow.
Councillor David Brown is hoping to make that happen by bringing private transit options to rural Ottawa.
Getting from the village into the downtown area and back again as quickly as possible is important. Right now, the rural service that we have is more like a milk run. It could take up to 2 hours each way.
However, his effort to have city staff take a closer look at private bus service in rural areas failed on a tie vote Wednesday.
Private transit is very difficult to make work. Usually it results in higher fees, obviously less jobs for within OC Transpo.
I don't see how a private contractor can do it cheaper. They won't be offering it for a fare of $4.05, that's for sure.
Still, Brown hopes his plan can come to fruition. One part of his motion that did pass, directing staff to review the funding model for rural transit areas.
We're still moving forward. We still see that forward momentum being made, and that's important for residents to see that Council fundamentally agrees that residents require transit. It's how we deliver it.
For Easy, he hopes the wheels on the rural bus plan keep going round and round.
There's not enough options for people in rural communities who, especially with gas prices going up.
Now, the part of today's motion on private bus service that failed is similar to a directive that has already passed in the city's transportation master plan. That means city staff are still reviewing partnerships with private and nonprofit transportation providers. Patricia.
All right, CTV's Austin Lee live for us tonight. Thank you. Well, police in Smiths Falls say 4 students were arrested after a gun scare at the local high school earlier this week. The Smiths Falls and District Collegiate Institute was in lockdown Tuesday morning after a report of a gun in the hallway. Police say 2 pellet guns were seized and have released this photo of the guns, noting they resemble Glock-style handguns. No one at the school was injured, but the school was in lockdown for over an hour while police and school staff conducted classroom checks and some locker searches. Police have not announced any charges. A new report from Ottawa Bylaw Services shows a drastic increase in the number of parking tickets issued in the city last year. Officers handed out more than 476,000 tickets. That's an average of 1,300 a day. 452,000 were issued in 2024 and 298,000 in 2023. Ottawa Bylaw says there was a record number of parking enforcement requests last year. The top infraction, unauthorized parking on private property. The report also shows a spike in illegal dumping complaints last year. Bylaw Services received more than 2,000 requests for service. That's up 263% from 2024. Staff say the increase can be attributed to a new online reporting tool and public education after the 3-item garbage limit came into effect. Well, plans to build a standalone public washroom in Centretown are now on hold because the project is over budget. The washroom was set to be built on the corner of Bank Street and Somerset. $1 million was approved in the 2025 budget for the plans, but city staff say it is $400,000 over budget. Renderings obtained by CTV News show the design, which includes a maintenance room, needle boxes, and 3 security cameras. Now, approval for more funding must come during the 2027 budget process before that project can continue. Canadian astronaut Jeremy Hansen will speak with Prime Minister Mark Carney tonight as the crew of Artemis 2 prepares to return to Earth. The crew has been able to capture stunning images, including a spectacular Earth set. The images are some of the clearest close-ups ever taken of the lunar surface. The crew spent about 7 hours at the Orion capsule's windows during the lunar flyby, taking photos and recording observations of the moon to share with scientists on the ground. And this is NASA's live stream showing the Orion spacecraft as it travels back to Earth. They are set to return on Friday.
I haven't really had that much of a problem with them, but I can understand why people are concerned because they are big birds.
Well, coming up, it is spring, which means an increase in wild turkey sightings in the capital, including in residential neighborhoods and even along public transit. Jackie.
Well, thanks so much, Patricia. Taking a look at our overnight temperatures, we're getting closer to seasonal temperatures for this time of year. -3, clear skies. We've got those southerly winds moving in and continuing to move in. And tomorrow will be the warmest day of the week. 14 degrees anticipated daytime high. We could see some showers in the afternoon, though, and we'll have this as well as look at your long-term forecast in just a bit. But now here's a live look through our Centennial Glass Sky Cam showcasing Sussex Drive, McDonald Cartier Bridge, the sun shining out in downtown Ottawa. Current temperature is 6 degrees.
Here's how your Wednesday drive home is looking in the sunshine tonight. For the most part, pretty good on the Queensway. Slowdowns in the usual spots this evening. Well, we are talking turkey now, and not your dinner plate variety. Wild turkeys are flapping down in fields, on houses, and even city infrastructure. For years, their numbers have been rising, and it seems their attitude too. CTV's Tyler Fleming with this story.
Wild turkeys are taking over Ottawa, or at least for some it feels that way.
There's two toms that are strutting their stuff, yeah. Yeah, it's mating season.
In this neighborhood along Prince of Wales by the Rideau River, resident Jim Hagerman says around half a dozen call this street home.
There are pets around here, really, but some of the neighbors aren't too happy about them.
I haven't really had that much of a problem with them, but I can understand why people are concerned because they are big birds.
Pushing past 20 pounds and usually shy until they're not.
They've scared a lot of people in the neighborhood.
This rafter of turkeys are known for some foul behavior.
Go! Even delivery guys come and the delivery guys are afraid to get out of their trucks.
And turkeys don't seem too fazed, well, by anything. Here they're roosting on an Orleans lawn. And why? Why is the turkey crossing the O train tracks Wednesday morning? Whether it's bravado or bird brain, residents are getting ruffled.
These turkeys take the cake. They go after people at bus stops. They are by your car when you arrive home.
Ottawa Councillor Riley Brockington says it's time for these birds to fly the coop.
We're at the point, though, where I do believe these turkeys need to be relocated. We are not able to coexist successfully because of how aggressive these turkeys are.
But until the city settles on what to do, here's some turkey tips. Don't try to pet or feed them.
No more bird feeders, certainly for the summer.
If you see a turkey, keep your distance. If you're in a car, roll up the window.
You gotta honk your horn and go at them, and then they'll take off.
If you're afraid of them, I think they sense it, and they'll come towards you. But if you just ignore them, everything's fine.
And here's a fun fact you can gobble up. Wild turkeys are the second heaviest bird capable of flight in Canada. First place goes to the trumpeter swan. And yes, we have those in Ottawa too. Tyler Fleming, CTV News.
The turkeys are us. But at least they're walking along green grass, which is nice to see after yesterday's snowfall. The spring weather has returned to Ottawa. Beautiful blue skies shining over the Rideau River in Smiths Falls today. And it is set to be even warmer tomorrow, which we like. Love that blue sky. Beautiful. Just want to hold on to a little bit more of that, whether the turkeys are out there with us or not, Jackie.
Yes, and have you brought your bike out yet, Patricia?
I was trying to convince Tyler actually to pump my tires up tonight, so we'll see if he has time after the turkeys.
Well, fingers
do
crossed.
Me a little favor.
Because it is going to be quite nice tomorrow. We're going to have double-digit temperatures. We're starting to see the warm-up happen. Right now, temperatures sitting around 6 degrees, mainly sunny skies, and the sun setting 7:40 tonight. So if you are looking for a key place to check out the sunset, head to Coecky Point. Wonderful views there. Tonight's lows across eastern Ontario, about -4 in Ottawa and Cornwall, -1 in Pembroke, as well as Petawawa. Kemptville sitting around -3. As we look towards tomorrow's daytime highs, again, we're going to see sunshine in the morning. It's going to be in the late afternoon that the clouds are going to start to roll in. Chance of showers really roaming in. We are going to see it more focused on Kingston and Brockville. Temperatures sitting around 12-14 degrees, may even see 15 with that sunshine as well moving through. So take advantage of the lunch hour because because around 2 o'clock, that's when we're going to see this band of rain potentially moving through eastern Ontario. You'll see a little bit of yellow close to Kingston, close to the 5 o'clock hour, so that could lead to pop-up thunderstorms as well. So we're keeping a very close eye on this. It's Friday, though, and it's going to be Friday in the early morning. We're going to start to see more rain move in through the Kingston area, and watch this purple. It's flurries, mix of some snow moving in, and this is around 11 o'clock that we could see some light snow moving in through Ottawa, maybe some squalls, getting a mix of some freezing rain as well, and more chances of some thunderstorms popping up around the Brockville area or heavy rainfall. So we're keeping a close eye on this for our Friday. Now, right now, temperatures across the country about -2 in Charlottetown, 2 degrees in Fredericton, Halifax sitting around 1. Lots of sunshine, though, moving in. Sudbury a little bit cloudy at 1 degree, but Toronto 5 degrees, Windsor at 10 degrees, one of the warmest spots here in the country for today. Calgary sitting around 4 degrees, and Vancouver 12 degrees with lots of sunshine. And now, this 7-day forecast is brought to you by Davidson Hearing Aids. Join them at the 55 Plus show at the EY Center, April 10th and 11th. So tomorrow, double-digit temperatures, and it's not just going to be double digits. It's 14 degrees. This will be one of the warmest that we've seen this week. It is going to be quite windy, though, so still want your jacket perhaps, because wind gusts are going to be up to 40 kilometers per hour. Friday, again, in the early morning, we could see periods of rain or snow, and that will be one of the coolest days where we're only getting a daytime high of 5 degrees. But look at Saturday and then the stretch after that for the next several days. Double-digit temperatures. We're trending much closer to spring. I'm even eyeing that Sunday overnight into Monday, where the overnight will be 8 degrees, Patricia, and 18 for Monday.
And 18 is my favorite number. I love seeing one of those on the board. Looks good, Jackie. Thank you.
You're welcome.
It's fine that they give us a relocation allowance, but that still doesn't bring my family together.
Well, coming up, Ottawa's harness racing community left scrambling after the abrupt cancellation of racing at the Rideau Carleton Raceway.
Tonight, multiple marriages, one husband.
I just needed him out of the house so that my kids and I were safe again.
We'll tell you how many women were deceived and what happened when the truth came out. Later on CTV National News and watch on Crave.
CTV News community and weather anchor Jackie Perez. Weeknights.
Members of the harness racing community are mourning the sudden end of racing at the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino. They just heard the news last week. There is an effort by Ontario Racing underway to revive it, but the odds are long. CTV's Kimberly Fowler explains.
It's a finish line no one saw coming. Ontario Racing and the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino, Ottawa, announced late Thursday it's shutting down the horse racing program, saying the Rideau Carleton Raceway is no longer sustainable.
Oh, it was devastating to us because that's what we do for our main living.
For horse owners, trainers, and drivers like Mandy Archer, the decision tearing her family apart.
We're one of the families that are split in two. And it's how are we going to sustain that for a long period of time? I don't know.
Others feel blindsided after investing thousands of dollars in the off-season and also competing at other tracks.
You probably put out $25,000 a month to keep the operation going, and there was no races.
With help from Ontario Racing, some are forced to consider relocating to any of the other 14 tracks in the province.
It's fine that they give us a relocation allowance, but that still doesn't bring my family together.
While others say their only option may be to shut down operations.
It just kind of changes, your whole life. We breed our own horses here, so they're raised, we train them, and then it just changes the scenario where if there's no racing here, the facility is probably sold and you move on.
But not all hope is lost. The two sides are still in talks to try and save the rest of the racing season and the horse racing program.
We have time now. I trust the processes. If we can get to the table, the horsemen, we have a lot of people. They are brilliant people. They can make a good plan to make it survive.
The horse people are meeting to try and see what the options are. And, they would love to continue to race in the Ottawa area. It's not impossible, but there's a lot of regulatory steps you have to go through before you can conduct a live horse racing meet.
A statement from Hard Rock Hotel and Casino Ottawa reads in part, "This decision was not taken lightly. We are committed to continuing our meaningful impact in the community now and into the future." A season that was ready to run, now in limbo, stalled at the gate. Kimberly Fowler, CTV News.
Now, some other stories you need to know right now. The Ford government is looking at rolling back some green initiatives when it comes to new developments. The proposed legislation means developers would no longer be required to add more tree canopy, electric vehicle charges, bird-friendly window coatings, or other sustainable design standards beyond what's required for health and safety. The government says changing the municipal standards will lower costs and get projects built faster. Meantime, the province is also planning to extend workplace safety and insurance coverage to workers in privately run care facilities, such as retirement homes. The change is part of a broader set of updates to labor rules. The government says the facilities, which include foster homes, are currently not subject to mandatory coverage. The update will mean roughly 29,000 workers will now be protected should they get hurt or become sick on the job. That includes nurses and personal support workers. Well, today is the International Day of Pink. At schools across Ontario, students and staff wore pink to stand up to bullying and discrimination. The day started in Nova Scotia in 2007 when students rallied around a classmate who was bullied for wearing a pink shirt. Many schools feature guest speakers and performances to highlight the importance of fostering diversity and inclusion. The Ottawa Senators with another big win on home ice last night. The Sens skating off with a decisive 6-2 win over the Tampa Bay Lightning, holding on to that wild card playoff spot. The Sens are back at the CTC again tomorrow night, hosting the Florida Panthers. The Charge are playing in the capital tonight after last week's game in front of a record-breaking home crowd at the CTC. They did lose that game 3-0 to the Montreal Victoire. Tonight, they are hosting Seattle Torrent at TD Place. Puck drop is 7 p.m.
There are days where there's 4 matches, so you can really sit down and have your own football festival just for yourself.
Well, just ahead, FIFA releases its plan for a cross-country World Cup celebration tour, and one Eastern Ontario city is on the list of stops.
First responders are a family that is 4 times as likely to suffer from mental health disorders. The Ottawa First Responders Foundation provides wellness supports for currently serving and retired Ottawa fire, police, and paramedic personnel and their families. In this family, no one stands alone. Help support those who are there for you. For information and to make a donation, visit ottawafrf.ca.
Get the latest live local breaking news. Sign up now for our morning and evening CTV News Ottawa newsletter. The best local content from CTV News, Your Morning Ottawa, and News Talk 580 CFRA. Get it all in one place. Sign up now at ctvnewsottawa.ca. The CTV News Ottawa newsletter is brought to you in part by CAA Business.
Well, the countdown is on to the FIFA World Cup, which is set to arrive in Toronto in June. But celebrations during the tournament will be taking place across the country, including in Kingston, to give soccer fans from coast to coast a taste of the action. CTV's Rahim Ladani has the details.
We are inside Illuminarium Toronto within the Distillery District. The FIFA World Cup kicks off in 64 days. But the party isn't just happening inside the stadium. They're happening across Canada within every community. And that's why we're here. Today, FIFA has launched a new program called Canada Celebrates. Bringing World Cup energy to local communities, a nationwide series of free one-day festivals are traveling across Canada from coast to coast to coast.
There are days where there's 4 matches, so you can really sit down and have your own football festival just for yourself in your community.
The route will make 38 stops across 34 communities, from Whitehorse and Halifax to Kamloops and Niagara Falls. The caravan is being billed as accessible within a 2-hour drive for more than 75% of Canadian residents.
Stoked to see Burlington in there as well, but this is just making sure that the World Cup is a celebration for everybody. And I think about the generation of kids that are going to grow up feeling like soccer and football are Canada's game.
Just like the FIFA World Cup Fan Fest coming to Toronto, this will be an interactive experience. Think giant screens showing the matches, live music and cultural performances, along with food and football activities.
a place for thousands of fans to gather and cheer together. One of those neighborhoods includes Mississauga. The festival will be coming to the 905 on Canada Day.
We know from a tourism and economic development standpoint, this is going to be a real positive, a great value add.
The final 2 stops on this tour are happening right here in Ontario, in Niagara Falls and Brampton on July 18th and 19th. Raheem Ladani, CTV News, Toronto.
Well, returning now to our top story, the price of oil dropped dramatically today with the announcement of a ceasefire agreement in the Middle East conflict. BNN Bloomberg's Marilla Fernandez has more.
West Texas Intermediate dropped almost 15% today on hopes that more tankers will start moving again through the Strait of Hormuz. Oil backed off, and so did many other energy stocks as other sectors gained, like consumer discretionary. Aritzia, a Canadian clothing retailer, was up 9.5%. The key North American markets all gained between 1% and 3% today. Here are the closing numbers for the day. The Canadian dollar is up to 72.24. West Texas Intermediate is down over $18 to 94.41. Western Canadian Select is up just a bit to 79.64. And the TSX gained 383 points today. Those are your business headlines. I'm Marilla Fernandez.
Well, just ahead, we've got a little soccer fever of our own. Meet our first Myers Team of the Week of this year. We'll be joined in studio by a local boys soccer team.
Far side pass, and it's an early shot. He scored!
Ottawa's favorite cash contest is back, and it's big. Move 100's $50,000 Beat the Bank. 7 vaults. You decide how much to take home. Sound the alarm? You lose it all. Be listening weekdays for your chance to win.
Well, our popular Team of the Week segment is back. Teams are invited to send us a video to describe why their group is the greatest. Our first Team of the Week this year is St. Anthony's U15 boys soccer team. Working hard there, this group of 14 and 15-year-old boys defines what it means to be a team both on and off the pitch. Their hard work last season paid off. They recently earned the title of Winter League champions. Their dedication also extends beyond the game. They've hosted several events to raise money for upcoming tournaments, and they've fundraised during Italian Week to help the community, which is amazing. And the team is here with us in studio. Thank you all for being here. Big group. This is awesome. And I've got Max over here. And Max, you guys were just telling me that this is the oldest soccer club in the city. Was it a real thrill to get a chance to play for these guys?
It was not really a thrill to play for this team because it's like they just started a long time ago, and we all tried to like get a brand new team with all like some of the best 2011s all over Ottawa.
And you guys have had some great success.
Yeah.
And you're going to take a little money home here today. And I would not have been surprised if you had said you wanted to go to a FIFA event. We'd have to give you at least each $1,000 or more. But what are you actually using this money for, Lemmy?
Yes, so we're using this money to, first of all, fund our tournaments. So upcoming tournaments like Wesley Clover Cup. And we're also donating to CHIO for a great cause. And we're using this money for a good cause, yeah.
I love that, giving back. And funding those tournaments is important, right? Because you guys are pretty good. And you want people to see what you're doing. And I was told that one of these tournaments, maybe there's a chance for some scouts to see you and whatnot. Do you love this game enough, Omar, that you'd love to do it in the future for the foreseeable?
Yeah, of course. Like, this is like a dream for everyone to play the sport. You know, like everyone in this room would like love to go far in the future. And, you know, like something everyone looks forward to in the future, you know.
Because there might be like a Team Italy back in the World Cup at some point, right? And you guys could be a part of that.
Yeah.
What is it you love about the game?
Just like how it unites everyone around the world, you know? Like, it's like a passion everyone shares, and it's like nice, you know?
Any country you go to, if you have a soccer ball, you can have a soccer game, and people just love it. And Bob's going to come and give you this $1,000 for Myers. And why are you happy to be here supporting St. Anthony's, Bob?
Well, I love kicking off this segment of Myers Team of the Week, and
this team's a really strong team, and I hope they do well in their season coming.
Yeah, hope it really goes well for all of you guys. Thank you so much for being here. And of course, if you out there want to be a part of our Myers Automotive Group Team of the Week, just upload your video to ctvottawa.ca. All right, coming up, the Mammoth hits the ice in Utah. We'll have details on this new Zamboni, what exactly it is, just ahead. Jackie.
Well, thanks so much, Patricia. Taking a look at conditions tomorrow, it's going to be the warmest day of the week, 14 degrees. But yes, there could be some showers in the late afternoon, early evening. Friday, not so great. We are seeing a snow-rain mix that's anticipated for the morning. But by Saturday, back to sunny skies, 10 degrees, the anticipated daytime high. Here's a live look through our Centennial Glass Sky Cam. It's 6 degrees out right now. The sun shining nice and bright over Sussex and Macdonald-Cartier Bridge.
The National Capital Region is jam-packed with incredible experiences you don't want to miss. Hey, I'm Sneha Taylor, your iHeartRadio Weekender, powered by Barhaven Ford. Get the inside scoop on all the biggest and best events every Thursday, Friday, and Saturday on CTV, Move 100, Pure Country 94, TSN 1200, and News Talk 580 CFRA. iHeartRadio Weekenders is powered by Barhaven Ford, Ottawa's newest and largest Ford dealership, and Ontario's #1 Ford EV dealer.
Pure Country 94. Ottawa's home for the best country music. Listen for your chance to win $50,000 with Pure Country's big $50K payday.
Tomorrow on Your Morning Ottawa, the city's transit committee meets and we hear from 2 members about the state of Ottawa's LRT. Tune in on CTV or stream us live on Crave, all starting at 6 a.m.
Hairstyles, courtesy of Salon Fiorella.
And here's a look at what's on CTV tonight. E-Talk, Scrubs, The Floor, and Shark Tank. We have a recap now of the top stories we are following right now.
But the biggest hurdle is not knowing our actual fuel surcharges.
As uncertainty in the global energy market continues, farmers in Eastern Ontario are feeling the pinch, with some companies increasing fuel surcharges.
I think that's a great thing to look into. There's not enough options for people in rural communities who, especially with gas prices going up.
A motion to explore private bus service in Ottawa's rural areas fails at City Council.
We need a global leader with a plan to make a more resilient Canada, a stronger Canada, a more self-reliant Canada for this critical moment. And that man is our Prime Minister, Mark Carney.
And former Conservative MP Marilyn Gladue meets with Prime Minister Mark Carney after crossing the floor to put the Liberals within 1 seat of a majority. One final look at our forecast now, with lots of sunshine on the way for us. Jackie?
Yes, and we're going to get a significant warm-up for tomorrow. Take a look, 7 a.m. We're going to start at the freezing mark. It is going to be a bit windy, though, so you do want to layer up. Mainly clear skies for our Thursday. It's going to be in the late afternoon, early evening that we could see some rain moving through the region, but it isn't expected to last very long. Look at this. Daytime high 14 degrees, and then as we get to our overnight 4 degrees, we're only getting to daytime high of 5 degrees for Friday with periods of rain or snow, but we are trending warmer once we get to Saturday. 10 degrees the daytime high for the weekend, 18 for Monday, 16 for Tuesday, fingers crossed. But again, we are seeing a little bit of a roller coaster for precipitation. But again, this weekend looking pretty fantastic with no rain or snow or freezing rain in sight. Patricia, Stefan.
A pair of perfect 10s on the board for the weekend. Love that. All right, we want to check in and see what our news team is working on for tonight. Stefan Keys will be on the desk at 11:30.
I sure will be, Patricia. And tonight we'll report on a rallying cry by healthcare professionals who work with cancer patients. A coalition of clinicians is pushing the provincial and federal authorities to make changes to speed up access to cancer care. There are 3 key changes they think will help, and tonight we'll bring you all the details. Get the news anytime, anywhere at ctvnewsottawa.ca, and join us tonight for CTV News at 11:30. Patricia.
All right, will do, Steph. Thank you. And finally for us tonight, the Utah Mammoth is unveiling its new Zamboni, which is unlike any other in the league. Okay, how good is this? This is eye-catching. They've named it Zammoth. It's actually the Zamboni that was used in the 2002 Salt Lake City Winter Olympics. Zammoth made its debut on the ice last night. Up to 8 fans can get on there, ride the machine at any time. I don't know if they get drinks or not, but think of the kids riding the Zamboni at the Canadian Tire Centre. When my brother was little, all he ever wanted to be was a Zamboni driver, over and over. That's what I want to do. Yeah. But this looks even better.
That
right?
looks like a party.
I'm with your brother. I was going to say, I don't want to look at this thing. I want to drive it.
Yeah. I don't think you can take hard turns. You got to watch the tusks where they're going to end up. Yeah, that is pretty cool and pretty original. And almost makes you want to go to a game just to see it. Yeah. All right. Well, that is all the time we have. Thank you so much for watching. We want to wish the guys from St. Anthony's an absolutely fabulous season. Love that they're working hard on and off the pitch and donating some of the money they took home tonight to CHEO as well. A reminder, if you would like to be one of our teams of the week, you can just jump online and make that happen. Have a wonderful night, everyone.